Yo, did you grow up and have a whole lot of friends that seemed like family? Were you always into technology? Or maybe you had Ceres and Aquarius. Let's talk about it. Pew! Yo, what's up, good people? Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology, back continuing my series, The Goddess of Harvest, through all 12 signs. And today, yeah, rocking a hat inside? That's weird and bizarre. Well, it's because we're talking about Ceres, the Goddess of Harvest, in Aquarius. Aquarius. And as I'm filming in 2024, it's about to enter Aquarius just in a few days. So let's talk about it. We'll break down what Ceres is, Aquarius, and mash it all up together for you so you understand what the boy is teaching you. So Ceres, the goddess of harvest, is really dealing with, and you know it's that sickle, it's really dealing with how you were nurtured and cared for and how you want to be nurtured and cared for and will nurture and care for others. It can show secret sorrows. It's obviously deals with grains and the goddess of harvest because it's like can indicate the type of food you may like. It also, Ceres in astrology, can deal with your fashion, so your wardrobe, your clothing. And it can actually deal with, this is rare, but it could deal with being abducted, stolen, lost, or kidnapped, things like that, and some other things. So that's Ceres, the goddess of harvest in astrology, okay? And low self-esteem, depression, sometimes you can see that as well. And Aquarius is the final air sign. It's a fixed air sign. Yes, it is Aquarius, the water bearer, but it's the old man pouring out the wisdom and knowledge, right, of truth and spiritual awakening, right? That's why we're in Pluto and Aquarius now, and the very beginning of the age of Aquarius. So having Ceres, the goddess of harvest, in Aquarius in the natal birth chart, you may have felt like your family, your parents were a little emotionally detached, but mom and dad could have felt like big kids or just like more like friendly, like your friends. You may have had a huge family and there could have been like a lot of people around, like a grandma, grandpa, cousins, auntie. You could have all lived in a big house together. You also may have experienced like group living, like living with other families, like in a commune. You could have that. You could also experience where, everything was almost like you feel like it was like a beautiful ice sculptures in your home. Like everybody was like really friendly, but it was not warm and fuzzy. It wasn't a lot of hugs. It was more like detached, very friendly instead of family growing up. A little cold and detached. That could be an experience. Now, you could quite literally like, oh my God, OD on technology, and not just like on your iPhone or iPad. You could be into coding, automation, robotics. Like you may, like your families may only get technology gifts for one another, right? Like 3D pens or, the Apple Watch and all this different stuff. Like everybody gives gifts of technology. Now, having Ceres and Aquarius in the houses 1 through 5, you quite literally growing up could experience, being abducted or kidnapped due to, stalking over the internet or some sort of social media hoax, right? Or, things like that. You could really experience that where like you wind up talking to somebody online and you get catfished. But also you could, have someone over the internet convince you to meet them somewhere and somebody takes you, you could just be lost for hours and your parents forget about you or something, like in a video game arcade, right? Dave and Buster's or something. Now, when it comes to Goddess of Harvest, you may use light therapy, colors, copper, sound frequencies to like grow things in your garden, right? You could be really into grounding and earthing, but you're up on all the secrets of like how I can get, I play like opera or instrumental opera music or Beethoven and Bach to get my plants to grow better. You could be using, sound, and any type of technology or even copper to help your trees and plants grow better, your fruits and veggies. That's something that can literally play out for you. Also, you could just be into all types of technology where not only are you using ChatGPT and you're into robotics, you could be the type of kid that you like to take apart computers and build them back up. I had a cousin that was into stuff like that. But you could be like that. Having Ceres, the goddess of harvest, in Aquarius, you could be very close to friends, right? And they can feel like family. You consider your friends like your family. That's Aquarius. Is very friendly. It's not warm and fuzzy, but it's super friendly. And group settings, right? They love like and charity and donating and stuff like that. Now, some of those secret sorrows, you could be like really depressed because you lost your iPad. You could be very upset because you feel weird or ostracized, or you're just like the black sheep rebel and you don't get along with anybody in the family, or you never connect to groups of friends, right? Groups of kids will get together and you're not invited for the sleepover, or no one considers you to be a part of like the in crowd at school or the clique, and it could be whatever. It could be the jocks or it could be the goth kids or whatever, but like you're ostracized and you're not down with the get down. You know what I'm saying? And that sucks, but having Ceres, the goddess of harvest, in Aquarius, you may actually like to wear a lot of black, gray, silver, like hemp clothing, forward, futuristic stuff. You were wearing Crocs like a decade before people started wearing Crocs. You were the kid that always walked around barefoot and people thought you were weird and you had dirty heels. And people didn't know like you were grounding and earthing before it was even something that people talked about. You could definitely experience all of that. I have a couple of people in mind that I know from growing up that were always barefoot, and I used to laugh at them, and now I'm like, wow, they knew what was up. I was the one lost in the applesauce. So, I'm sorry. But I never teased anybody for it. I was just like, oh, I wouldn't do that. You know, Having Ceres, the goddess of harvest, in Aquarius, you may be vegetarian, vegan. You may only eat raw foods. You may love a raw diet. You could be a frutivore, right? You're like, I'm against killing animals. I'm down with PETA. I don't wear fur, you know. Now you may wear like a lot of platinum or silver, gray, black, white clothing. You may not like a lot of color, but you may be very fashion forward, like, I don't know, the ponchos that fold up to fit in your pocket, or, you do wild things with your hair and, create like different fashions and stuff. And you're just like, hey, what's up? You know, so, Ceres, the goddess of harvest in Aquarius, it is a little different. It's a little weird, bizarre, and detached. The rebel, the black sheep. You may not feel, maybe your whole family has got one different energy, and you are definitely like on the outside. You feel like the rebel. You feel like the black sheep. You feel kind of detached, you know. There could also be, some, you could be very highly intelligent and you could feel like, okay, you're the nerd, and that's why you're ostracized and feel detached. That can be an experience that you may go through. And so what? You know what I mean? I was never mean to any of the nerds and stuff in school, and honestly, the nerds are like, they own the companies now. They're the engineers. They're running like Google and Microsoft and Apple and all that stuff. So don't dismiss being highly intelligent and smart. It's actually cool, okay? Shoot, I wish I was more of a nerd and had better grades and did better academically, but I'm still doing all right, you know what I mean? And my Ceres is not an Aquarius, but I definitely use and love technology. Now, you could be also that kid that's like weird and into the esoteric knowledge. You may have been the first kid, to not just play Dungeons and Dragons, but to create your own world, and you got into like astrology and math, and you were in chess club, and you got all into like, I don't know, collecting like weird cards and antiques and different things. You were that kid that even still played with Legos and did those like 10,000 Lego pieces even into high school, stuff like that. But it's a good placement if you have it. Hopefully it's worked out well for you. If you're an adult and you're dealing with this, then maybe it is an opportunity for you to really focus on not just your fat, like maybe you're wearing organic cotton, linen, and wool. That if you have Ceres and Aquarius, you should be. But maybe you have copper and crystals embedded in your clothing, stuff like that. Ceres and Aquarius, and maybe you're all about, maybe you have you were the first one in your neighborhood to get the ring, Ring is getting sued for spying and selling people's information. So watch those Ring doorbells. But maybe you had some special type of technology and stuff. You're the type of person that when you put up the Christmas lights, you make them dance to the music and stuff, and you're super high tech, and that's okay. So I hope you just like, share, subscribe, comment down below. But let me know, like, if you've got Ceres in Aquarius, what house is it in? The being lost, stolen, or abducted or kidnapped, that's only going to be really relevant in the first 5 houses. But there could be like some sort of ransom over the internet, or you go, missing, or your whole identity gets hijacked over the internet and someone is like trying to pretend to be you, which happens to a lot of content creators nowadays, things like that. But, Ceres in Aquarius is definitely weird, bizarre, unique, and innovative. You're a dope native, rocking and rolling on the microphone. That he's controlling the bold man. Rock your gray, your black, your white, your silver. Fashion forward. You could have like like clothes that are like totally like you can tear off or something. But definitely, yeah, you could be the first person to rock like a hemp shirt, hemp socks, right? You got a hemp backpack. Like everybody's looking at you like, what? You're like, yeah, man, nah, I'm down with that stuff. I'm all about the ecosystem, and I'm all about, saving the environment and stuff. So that's basically it. Ceres in Aquarius. I'll be finishing up this series soon. Maybe I'll get to Gemini, Taurus, or Virgo next. But yeah, this is Ceres, the goddess of harvest, through all 12 signs. I'm Eric Taylor, BigEAstro. You are you, me be me. Hope you enjoy this astrological poetry from the E. All right, Ceres in Aquarius. Be easy. BigEAstro. Bye, Ceres in Aquarius. Stay classy and weird. Peace.